Hey folks, Green Stuff Gav here. Now, we haven't done much painting recently because I've been cranking out armies and uh, painting videos are really difficult to record. So apologies for that, but do the YouTubey things and let me know if you want to see more. But with it being October and spooky season, I thought we'd try painting ourselves a witch. Now, this is from Twin Goddess Mini, so I'll stick a post down below, and it's their witch, Schmegge, a Goliath wizard. So I really like the juxtaposition between, your typical squishy wizard, along with a absolute beefcake. So we're going to paint her, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of blacks and some purples, but hopefully, yeah. It's nice to see. So as per usual, fast forward, voiceover, malarkey starting now. Now we've undercoated in Colour Forges matte black as per usual, and we're going to start with the basing. So we can see we're just going to do a series of dry brushes, although this is more of a wet brush because there's a bit more on the brush. Just a couple of greys to pick the details out of the basing. I've gone fairly stark here. You could spend a bit more time blending the colours together, but I'm more interested in effect than technique. We're going to start with some of the skin tones here, and we're going for a slightly different shade to my usual. This wizard's quite beefy, so we're not going to go for like the pale skin. We're going slightly more tanned. So just going in, picking out all the details, trying to avoid any of the black bits, because effectively we're going to try and leave the matte black as the main dress colour. It's fairly straightforward, just following all the details, trying to keep it nice and neat. And again, you can see we're watering this down for a nice thin coat, because then when we go over it later, that will give us some shading. Did consider trying to paint stockings, but that's a lot of effort. It's better to get the block colours in place. This then means we can work out what we're going and where. Now with 3D printing, this comes out as a single piece model. It would have been nice to have done if it was bigger, do multi-part prints so you can get in behind the cloak and things, but for a standard 28mm figure, it's a little bit of a waste. Lovely off the shoulder dress. Again, it's quite nice to see some different details to this mini than your usual. So decided for the Halloween theme, we're gonna go for purples here. So just gonna, while the outer cloak's gonna be black, we're gonna pick out some bits in purple just to give it some spot colour. See here, going in between the folds of the dress and the inside of the cloak. It would have been very easy to have left it all black, but just a splash of colour really helps. So fairly straightforward. This is a really dark black, so really dark purple. So we'll be highlighting that up later. It's just getting the colours down is the key thing. Now she's got a couple of gems in there, so I thought I'd do them a real shiny, glowy effect. So I'm starting with a warpstone glow, I think it is. It's a nice solid green. So this will be the bottom shade. It's only a couple of bits there, but just that odd flash of colour really helps bring a mini to life. I decided I want our staff to be gold. So, although this is labelled Balthazar Gold, it's more of a brass. So it's really good for a base colour. And then you can highlight up from there. People tend to just stick a metallic on and call it done, but you can actually highlight metallics the same way you highlight other colours. So, base colour, work out the shades, make sure we pick out all the details that we want. And sometimes you go in, you paint a bit and think, I don't like that now the base colour's on. So I was considering doing the ends of the staff. We see here it's got this real and detailed end to it. I was sort of humming and ahhing, but I come to the decision I think we want them different, help them stand out. And the good thing with the way that I paint is now that we've done all these other colours, the original skin colour is dry, so we can go in and give it another coat, and that'll give us a bit of depth to the skin tone. So we're not going all the way to the edges. We're just leaving the shadows with the previous colour, the single layer. Again, I was considering painting just the tops of the thighs and leaving the calves, because that slightly darker shade might help with a almost like a tights effect, but I decided it would have been too busy having the two different skin tones. So thankfully all these sections get a little bit quicker. Now we've got a dark brown here, so we're just picking out the skin at the hair. I was considering going for like a flash colour, like fiery redhead or a platinum blonde, but I thought sort of a mousy brown would be a better colour. Thankfully, because the skin's still wet on the palette, we can still tidy up where we go wrong. Things like picking out the eyes. We're trying to leave a black edge around each eye, because that then helps define it and bring the attention. But you see, taking some time here because everyone always focuses on the eyes. While we're here, she's got a lovely little bottle. We're going to give it some like liquid effect around it, but we start with a white for the glass. And then we're simply going to keep layering up the greens. I think we bring this all the way up, but really start colour shift, because that will help sell the effect of something magical or mystical. So she's got a lovely little book here. Racar Flesh is my bone off-white colour to go to. So just picking them out so that it can dry and we can give it an ink. And we've gone up to the next layer of gold, which I'd have to look it up. Is again where we started with Balthazar. We've now gone up a shade, so you can already see on the staff that gives it a real shine. Really helps sell the effect. Now theoretically you could sit down and paint all the orbs, the magic orbs up, and then paint the gold to save having it in case you make mistakes, but I'm actually going up higher again with the gold. While we wait for that, we're going to go in, pick out some of the purple bits, give them a highlight. Again, Games Workshop's really good these days is with the difference in the shades, so you can generally buy your next shade up. Back in the day, you'd have to sit down and mix your colours up, because they only did like a dozen different shades, colours.
Now we've got a really fine brush. We're going to try painting the pupils on the eyes. Some people just put a blob, but we can't really see here. But what I'm doing here is going so the pupil actually goes all the way across the eye, touches both the top and bottom, reduces the staring look. Because we got the black out, we're just going to define some of the shades for the undercoat. Because funny enough, all the black undercoats are actually a real dark grey. So we can see here, just using pure black, things like the underside of the hat, anything that's shadowed, and just getting some definition. I said earlier I wanted the ends of the staff to be silver, so that's what we're going to do, because I think gold would have been too much. It's nice to get some extra colours in there, just really define the edge. See, just picking out some little details there, like the clamps. And I said we were going up gold again. Going up. I was going to go for the whole staff, but I decided just to go for the necklace, help it stand it out a bit. A bit tidy up. Real dark red to go on the book. Again, just helps it stand out a bit. Is where you've got a lot of black on this mini, sometimes just throwing in that odd colour here and there really does help. And so a little bit of blue on the bottle, just to make it look like some miscellaneous liquid. If you were going for like water or blood would work, but just a splash of colour. Small highlighting on the purple, sitting down debating what else we want to do for colour. So I'm going to give the hair a bit of a highlight, bring the colour up a bit, because it's a bit too dark. So just again, sometimes when you sit down and look at a mini, you think, okay, I need to add something here, add something there. Now the green still went on the palette, so we can see we can mix in some yellow and really just go for the very sharp edge in here. That'll help give it the whole glowy magical look. Now I've done a wee coven here, so we can see this girl. Shade on that skin's lovely. I like how that's come out. And here's all the compatriots. Thanks for watching, and as always, have fun.